Yeah. Okay. Well, Valerie, I think we are going to post this video after the fact.
Okay.
So there. Sorry, everyone, no live broadcast today, but the video will go up
Oh, that's a shame.
afterwards. Yeah, it is. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's usually how we get, you know, a few more people
Of course.
watching too. But yeah, and now it's not even cooperating with me in terms of getting, you know, this is when my being a Facebook rookie is a bad thing, because I can't even get to the Biscuits and Books listing to put a note up saying we're having technical difficulties and we'll rebroadcast.
Is it on the
There we go.
our Facebook page?
It is. Okay. Okay, so I managed to pop a little note there because we did have people that wanted to watch through Facebook. So my apologies to them. But meanwhile, we have a lot of fun things to talk about today. And yes, we are recording. So I'm going to start with Mary. And here we go. So I was hoping that Sarah could join us today, but she was had to work and couldn't take a little break to jump on and talk to us. But we've been approached by a young woman named Sarah Lawler, who is interested in becoming the first Mary from Dungloe of San Francisco. And she has reached out to us and to the United Irish Societies about participating in the parade and raising more awareness of the festival, what it represents, and is hoping to be the first representative from San Francisco to the festival this summer. So I do have the information. Is the website up for you, Val? Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I think Sarah's been involved in the Irish community probably since she was born. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, I know.
Her family's been a member of the Irish Center for years. Yeah.
Yeah. So I know we've, run into her. I of course haven't seen her in a couple of years or more. So I'm looking forward to seeing her at the St. Patrick's Day events. Yeah. But I told her I'd give a shout out to her ambitions and the festival itself during the broadcast, and maybe we'll get her on next month afterwards.
That would be great.
Yeah. So
we should see her around St. Patrick's Day. There's so much going on at the center. I know that personally the block party is going to be very grand. So,
yes.
A lot of fun.
We have a lot to talk about with all of that. So,
excuse me.
Oh yeah, you okay? Maybe you need your cup of tea today.
No, I don't have here.
I didn't even pour mine.
Maybe that'll work.
Yeah, I didn't even pour mine yet. So next, what I have up is this map of Northwestern Ireland and showing where the town of Dungloe is. And I'm going to back up a little bit. So here's Londonderry. So this is all Northern Ireland. This is still County Donegal and the Aran Islands. But in talking to Mary, I got curious about the area where the festival is being held. And so in our collection, now mind you, this book is not for sale. This is part of the collection. So when you come to the library, you can read it here on the table. The cover is fantastic. It was
It's a
published,
sensational cover.
isn't it?
That's well worth a visit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was published in 1902. And it's a gentleman's travel log, Samuel G. Bain, who traveled from New York to Londonderry. And then this is his journey in a jaunting car. We have one up in the St. Patrick's room. So if you're anybody that's here for St. Patrick's Day can check that out. But this is his story of his trip. And I probably should have bookmarked the table of contents, but he's got it laid out kind of by day on his trip, Londonderry to Port Salan to Duntain. But the chapter that I marked was Gwyddor to Glenties, because he stops for lunch in Dungloe.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so he's so intermingled were they that it was hard to decide which was which. We finally got to know where the rat grew on the shore. The water was salt and connected somewhere with the sea. We stopped at Dungloe for lunch and then descended into the Guidalbara Valley and crossed the large new steel bridge of that name, erected by the Congested Districts Board to give people employment on that and the roads connecting with it at both ends. So it sounds like an agency where, our FDR might have gotten the idea for the works projects 30 years
Right.
later.
Oh,
And
okay.
here is the photograph he includes
Oh,
from
okay.
the area. Yeah. From 19.
Are there a lot of good pictures in this?
1902. There are. Yeah, he's got quite a few, and he credits his photographer. And what's impressive is because with bookbinding, these are all individual leaves, but it was more expensive when putting the book together to work photos into the text as opposed to having them all in one block. And that's a lot of times why you'll see books with all the photos in a block right in the middle of the book.
Oh,
It's
that's interesting.
It's a cheaper production method. And I learned that from Kathleen Dowling-McDonough because we've been talking about her dad's books.
Right.
And he was adamant with his publisher that his photographs stay with the chapter and with the text that they referred to. And so there was that conversation about layout and cost.
Now, what is our friend Sarah's connection to Dungloe? Did she mention how she found out about it, or?
She didn't, and so I'm wondering if there's a family connection. And
Right.
I was hoping I could get a little bio or something today, but I don't. So hopefully we'll have her on in March or April and get to ask her a little more about the inspiration for her participation in this.
It does sound like a really fun event, though, and a little bit maybe more down home than like the Rose of Tralee, which is fabulous, but it's gotten to be such a production,
Yeah. Well, and what I liked about this is, it's part of their arts festival, and so it's like a lot of fun.
And they do a community service. Is that?
Yeah. And then, they represent not only their community, and Dungloe, but, the mission to the greater diaspora. And so, yeah. And the festival's been happening since 1967. So.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't either. And, and then I started reading about it and I thought, well, this is kind of fun.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like it.
Yeah.
Well, I wish her good luck.
Me too. And then this is another one, spine label, stays in the library, but you're welcome to come read. This is the Donegal Wonder Book, and this was published in 1926, and it is wonderful engravings, etchings, and so it's all fables and fairy tales and folklore, the wonders of the three Donalds, the Hound of the Hill of Spears, the Black Sheep. So more fun on-site reading. But since the point of this show too is to feature books that are for sale, this wonderful Secret Places of Donegal, which is the county that Dungloe is in, is for sale. It is one of our duplicates, and I did double check. I was actually looking in our copy to look for references for the show. So this is paperback. It's a nice shape. The paper's, browning a little bit. This was published in 1988 and is $27.
And so it goes, there are a lot of secret places in Donegal, if I recall from my visit there.
Yeah.
It seems like it's a magical area, really. Have you been there?
We didn't make it that far north.
Yeah.
And west. Yeah, we ended our trip in Shannon and flew home from there.
Right. There aren't as many people as some other places, and it was really magical. You could really see like you would suspect there were fairies or something on the hillside,
Yeah. Well, I know also part of the library's collection, nice big guy here. There was a mention of the fiddle in Donegal society and how just ubiquitous it is, which means music and gathering and singing here. And it's certainly fiddle players were plentiful throughout the county, though they tended to be concentrated in certain areas. It is generally acknowledged that the Southwest and West Donegal was rich in fiddle playing. And there is a picture that is undated of Neely Boyle from Dungloe.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah. So, and again, that's part of the library's collection and can be read about here. This one can be yours for $27.
That may be mine. You should put that on my list if nobody else dibs on it.
Between you and Anne.
Yeah, we'll support the library, huh?
It's great. Well, that's okay, because if you get to it before I do, then that keeps me from getting in trouble at home too.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not a book collecting problem. It's a book storage challenge is what it is.
Right.
Now this one is, well loved, and is the Irish Rebellion of 1916 and its martyrs. Some of the leaves are a little bit loose. Well, that one's detached. That's a picture of Patrick Pierce. So,
and the connection with is there a connection here with Dungloe, or did you just happen to like the book?
I happen to like the book and am transitioning into a couple of others that I had found that I wanted to talk about today. Before I got sidetracked by Dungloe and its festival.
the bright shiny red book. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. And so this one, this was published in 1916. So this is, I almost wonder if this could be considered primary source material.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Very recent secondary, if nothing else. And so it's very well illustrated. And just
a good opportunity to get an idea of what people were thinking at that time, rather than our reflections on events.
Right, because the lens that they're seeing it through in the immediate aftermath of the events versus how we're looking at it a century and more on. And there's chapters on the formation of the Irish Volunteers and the Citizen Army, the eve of the Great War, Young Ireland. There's a chapter on Countess Markievicz, and Frances Sheehy Skeffington. I'm giving the ladies a little more notice this, attention this time, because we're coming up on March, which is Women's History Month. And then of course the lads get their turn in the chapters as well. So this one is fairly rare edition, because even in its good condition for its age, it's $100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Sheehy Skeffingtons were a fascinating pair.
Yeah.
Yeah, very different people, but maybe that would make a good marriage, huh? Both of them were like the missus. If they were both like her, that might have been a lot of fireworks.
Or more fireworks. So I am, since both you and I are a little bit, we were planning on a little bit of a shorter show today,
Right.
to move on to a quick talk about some upcoming programming that we have. And thank you for being instrumental in having this happen. But Annie Holland is confirmed. The parade is confirmed. We are having a proper St. Patrick's season in San Francisco. And part of that will kick off the opening of Annie's exhibit here at the center on Thursday, March 10th. And the grand opening reception is from 6 to 9 on that Thursday.
I would like to encourage everyone to go, because Annie's been out here a couple of times, and each time her exhibits are original and fascinating, and she's very charming. Her presentation will be, really enjoyable, I'm sure. And I would recommend that people go to the opening night when she's available to talk.
And
explain her work.
That's probably going to be the best to come. But then she is also, because she and her sister, I'm going to pop Kathleen's website up here for a moment. Yeah. So her sister Kathleen is coming this time, and she's bringing some of her work, and they are going to be here, definitely probably the best opportunity to interact with them one-on-one is going to be that opening night. But they are going to come and be here during the festivities after the parade on Saturday, and for a time during the block party on Sunday.
Oh, that'll be a good time too then. Yeah,
definitely. Now Annie's work is going to be hung on the walls of the St. Francis room, which if people just recently saw Keepers of the Steps, we're using all the wall space, but the central floors will be open. So this is a little less involved of an installation than the previous exhibit, but nice big showcase for Annie's work. So the work is going to continue to hang. So anytime the library is open in the subsequent 3 weeks, you can go into the St. Francis room, as long as it's not booked for an event, and see the work. But this will be a great time to meet and talk with both women. And I apologize to Chris because I didn't grab a couple of his images before starting this, but Kathleen is also bringing some works by a colleague of hers.
Oh, that's exciting. Okay.
Yeah, and so everything will be on site for the 2 weeks, and then Annie's work will continue to hang, and then Kathleen will take her things back with her. That's
really generous of them to contribute to our St. Patrick's Day festivities at the center. It gives a little culture to it, as well as just fun.
Absolutely. And
of course, of course the music and the dancing is great culture too, but fine arts culture, I guess I should say.
Yeah, and what I was hoping is that, and maybe it's because I had everything else in the world open, but let's see, there's her video, photo booth. I was kind of hoping to find a little preview of her, because what she's bringing and featuring is her children's pre-state exhibit.
Oh, okay, that's very timely too.
Right,
the 100th anniversary, huh?
Yeah, so the work that she's bringing will be all the portraits that she took as she traveled around Ireland and gathering stories from people who were born in 1919 to 1922. So during
Mhm.
the treaty and the establishment of an independent Ireland.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, not that these aren't lovely, but
Yeah.
no sneak
Well,
preview here.
each exhibit she does is so unique.
Yeah.
Last time, I think the first time she came out, she did a really beautiful photo exhibit of a modern treatment of old Ireland. Like she would have pictures of lace, but it would be done in a modern way. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm not describing it too well. Using different lights and stuff like that, you know. And then last time she was here, she did what the children of Dublin were thinking about being Irish in 2016, you know,
Right. Yeah, that
100
was,
years after the rising.
yeah,
So,
that's the one I saw.
yeah,
And we still have some of her work from that, some of her
Right.
posters that she
yeah.
contributed to our collection.
Now, Jennifer, I'm afraid it's my witching hour and I'm going to
Yeah.
have to go.
That's okay. Thank you.
I really
we'll go ahead
enjoyed
and wrap it here.
oh, I'm sorry. What was
Oh,
that?
we'll go ahead and wrap here. So
Okay, I really enjoyed seeing those books, and like I said, please keep that red one for me.
yes, ma'am.
I love Donegal, and I'd like to learn more about it.
Okay.
And anyway, thank you for everything. You take care, huh?
Thank you. You too. And thank you everyone for understanding that you're going to see this recorded live, but broadcast after the fact. Okay, and that today, and yes, for those who missed Keepers of the Steps, some of the pieces behind me have been donated to our collection and will continue to be displayed now and again before the new center and we are able to establish sort of a permanent exhibition, and then others are just waiting to go home. Until next time, thank you so much and have a great day.